All right, welcome everybody. How you doing today? It is finally the Green Diller Day, right? We're gonna have to rename this Green Diller Day today. Uh, Absolutely love it. Uh, so I would like to start off by making one offer. I'm gonna make one offer out there, okay? So I don't know if anybody's seen my other chart. Where's that other chart that I have? I just want to bring this. What chart is that? It's the ADX chart. That's what it is. Where's my ADX chart? There it is. Here's the ADX chart. Right. And give me a second. I don't think I have it on this one. I think it's on this one over here. Ah, there we go. Okay, yes, this is it. Okay. All right. So here is what I am offering. Okay. This is Vamp's offer today. Okay. This is Vamp's offer today. I will be giving away, okay? I will be giving away 2 bear packages, okay? 2 bear packages today for the person that makes the best baby bull Jesus birthday meme, okay? August 17th, baby bull Jesus. This is my offer, okay? So today and today only, I'm offering 2 bull packages. Okay, 2 bull packages for whoever can come up with the best baby bull Jesus meme. Okay, so let me put this up here and just make sure. Right, so here it is. So I'm going to offer 2 packages. So Vamp, 2 bear packages to whomever, whomever makes the best baby bull Jesus meme for his birthday. Baby bull Jesus B-Day meme. Okay? So, and there it is. This is my offer, right, to everybody out there. Easy, easy, easy. We'll have a little vote on it. We'll have a little bitty vote on it later on, okay? But this is what I'm offering, okay? So whoever can make the funniest meme with this, this is Baby Bull Jesus' birthday right here. This is what I'm looking for, okay? You get, 24 hours. We'll give it 24 hours, okay? So we'll call the shots tomorrow. Let me put this up here. I want to go ahead and I'm gonna make this right here. And let me pump this chart out, and then I'm gonna let the Chone Master go for this. Okay, baby bull Jesus B-Day. Right, there we go. Baby bull Jesus B-Day. I'm gonna post this on my Twitter, and so you guys everybody's got a. Okay, so let me put this up here. All right, and let me get this baby up here, and I am going to blast out this tweet for my baby bull Jesus thing, and where's it at? Where do I put it at? Okay, so I will send this tweet out, but for right now, I'm going to hand this TA over to the man himself, the Chone, and let's let him take it away. There you go, buddy. Go for it.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? What's up? 148 of our closest compadres here. Thank you for joining us on a Friday evening, October 5th, 2018. Listen, we just had Bitcoin's daily candle close about 22 minutes ago, and we're going to look at kind of where we ended up and look at some indicators and try and figure out potentially where we go next. So listen, let's acknowledge yesterday's candle. Another example of a high wave candle. We had a very long wick on the bottom, a long wick on top. Kind of blast through his indicators here. Then we'll do the full screen and get into Bitcoin in a little more detail here. Also note a rejection on a close of our purple resistance line that's basically held since 8,500. Now we did break through our RSI triangle here bullishly, and we are currently daily above our 50 area. So that is definitely notable. Stochastics is angled bullishly on their daily, and our MACD has had several opportunities to break bearish and has yet to do so, continues to skip off bullishly. One thing I do want to note is how many days in our bullish upward histogram, 16 days now, we have basically maintained. And the last time we basically had 14 days of bearishness, followed or preceded by 16 previous days of bullishness. So clearly see this bullishness, our candles themselves are very much lower. Obviously, we're seeing our low volume sideways price action here. Seems like for an eternity, but it's only been, almost 3 weeks or so. One thing of note, our on balance volume here broke bearishly and then back tested. So we're just doing a back test, which is definitely normal. We like to watch for that to happen and to see if this rejection line, which used to be a very strong support line, is actually valid. And the rejection, once again, of our talking money flow in this area is still in play. I mean, that little bull pop we had towards the end of the day was notable, but from the money flow standpoint, a lot of profits were taking on that run, and that keeps on telling us that every time they have this bullish setup, short term, profits are being taken, and long positions are basically being kind of unwound, and people are doing mostly just scalping moves continuously. So I want to start, a little more in depth here with our purple line of resistance. Now, we wicked out here $8,500 back in the end of July. We definitely hit this area early September on the same trajectory. Now, remember, this was wicks here. These were shorter wicks, okay? We did it one more time on September 28th, and now we're basically seeing that we touched it, we broke it, but we wicked out and we actually closed below this line once again. So although the break is notable, the fact that we have still yet to close above on the daily still does not mean much. And once again, for a third time in a row, after we have our bullish uptick here, we follow that up by a very long-legged, both directions, spinning top candle. And the first time it happened, we had several days of bearishness. The second time it happened, we had a week of bearishness. And now this is one more time happening. Now, granted, we don't normally test the same pattern more than 3 times before there's a switch. And yes, this can be due for a change in direction where we actually, instead of breaking bearish the day after we have our nice bull pop, we actually can buck this trend. And so far we did, at least on this candle, though similar, we're actually able to close above the previous day. So that is beginning to be a denote of maybe there is some more these short-term bullish moves that can still be built on by this move. What would be a thing you want to watch for would definitely be a hold of this purple line here, which has been our major resistance for several months. Or if we were able to close today, and we can definitely come back down through an intraday, but a close above, I think, would actually be notable and basically could set the stage for continued bullishness, potentially retesting our upper BB line somewhere still sub 7K, but putting some sort of a triple top, on this area here, and then we definitely can put one more test of our upper BB here, still keeping us with a lower high situation overall, but still allowing another couple $100 of price action to follow through. But for now, I'm kind of sticking to the whole theme that we've been seeing for the past couple weeks, is that when we do have a bull pop, profits are taking. Our longer wicks on the top here are notable. However, there's not a big reason for a bull capitulation just yet. We're not oversold, overbought in certain areas with our shorts and longs. What is notable, though, is our continued weak volume money flow follow through on Bitcoin. A little pop definitely popped other coins, ETH, Litecoin, and a little bit of altcoin across the board. But still, we're just kind of in the same pattern that we've been with for over 2 weeks. And as we tighten on our Bollingers, on our daily, especially on our weekly, we know a bigger, more imminent, more defining move is sure to come. And because of our equilibrium pattern of lower highs and higher lows, we can still play this out for at least potentially another week. I mean, we could go mid-October in this very tight range of plus 6,300 to sub 67, 6,800, still be putting in equilibrium overall until a major move, which is due, is yet to actually happen. So the sideways action can go on for several more days. And listen, we're going to know it. I think we're going to know it when that bigger event happens. And the question you have to ask yourself is what's going to drive that? Because we're in this low volume environment, this is a very news driven market. We've seen that with altcoins when they run specifically based on news events, aka Ripple's move last week. Bitcoin Cash had a move based on a news event, a few others here and there. But what we're looking at here is a situation where I just can't imagine anything but a major bullish news event that can really drive this thing bullishly and pop. It's a lot easier to break bearish here than to break bullish. We were monitoring tether movements, and we haven't seen anything significant yet to kind of see that the printing presses are in full action yet. And none of this price action feels very organic in terms of it feels very still bot driven. When we break a certain point, the algos kick in and they can kind of maintain this. The exchanges can maintain this for only a matter of time. We're seeing a lot of arbitrage in the exchanges as well, spreads of $60, $70, $80 in the price of Bitcoin exchange to exchange here. And that's kind of showing that, it's not as easy for these exchanges across the board to maintain these this above 6K area. It wouldn't take much for this thing to collapse if a bunch of big whales decide to dump the market. And until we see extreme either overbought or oversold conditions on our longs and shorts, which I don't feel we're really seeing yet, this can kind of still travel sideways for a little bit longer. But the pattern will play out, and we're going to see either a cascade in one direction or another. Now, a bearish news event, which really haven't really tested Bitcoin for quite a while. What I mean by that is Gawks choosing when they want to do their next liquidation, or at least approving it, stuff like that. A definitive ETF denial or another postponement once again. These are clearly things that have basically been showing us they have definitive price action momentum influence on the price of Bitcoin. So until we get one of those major news events, that's legit. A lot of this stuff kind of comes out, flows through crypto Twitter, and then is either quickly confirmed or debunked. But we'll know when a meaningful news event can cause significant price action movement. And yeah.
All right, very good, awesome, man. Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna move along a little bit of our TA. So listen, I did hedge a small long trade here. I was in my ETH short. Just to be specific, I was in my ETH short from 230. 230-ish. That did get stomped out. I did get my nuts stopped on that one, but I ended up closing that out plus 23%. Wasn't bad. Now, I did have a small hedge trade of EOS expecting this pop right here, right? And let me see if I can pull up just the most important chart that we had yesterday that we had shared. Where are you? Where are you? Come on. Nope, not that one. That was important, but not the one I wanted. And of course, hold on a second here. Let me find this other chart. Ah, there it is. Okay. There we go. All right, so what we were watching yesterday in the members area, and I did this on the video yesterday, was I said this is the only bullish thing I see. This was it. There was no bullish volume to speak of. And in fact, this...
I think you're still on me.
Oh, sorry. There you go. All right, so here we go. So this is the chart. So this is the chart I was talking about yesterday. So this was the only bullish signal that we saw yesterday. And until the very, very, very last, until the very last hour or so, right, of the day, we had the most abysmal volume for the entire year, right? I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or but about it. We were watching that volume candle on the daily. It was just the worst for the entire year. It was just such a low volume day. And then out of the last, and I think I was over, somewhere I had the trade. I was, where's that at? Let me see if, here's the chart. I said, this is the lowest daily volume candle of 2018 so far, asterisk, right? And then out of the blue, we got this monster. And I mean, I can break this. Oh, let's go down to the 1 hour. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this candle. I'm sorry. Let me, dude, seriously. This candle was like, this is what this said to the vamp. This thing was like, burnt, burnt. Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on. Let me back this up. I'm going to pull this off here. Let me see if I can get in here. Oh, come on. Get up in here. All right, let's get up into this candle here. Come on. Deeper. Right? When I saw this candle, I swear to God, I was like, this is what this... Johnny did this earlier. I swear to God. That is what this reminded me of right there. A big F you, vamp. F you, vamp. I am not the smallest. I am not the little guy. I am not going out like that. He gave the vamp a big F you finger for saying I was the smallest all year. He was like, yeah, I don't think so, you prick. Right? And that's exactly what the vamp got. That's exactly what the vamp probably deserved right there. But I gotta tell you, we were all like, there was some midget jokes going on for, in the back. We were like, whoa, that was just such a teeny tiny little candle. He was so cute. He was all the way down there. And we really did feel bad for him. And what a rally. What an absolute rally. Now, first thing I do look at this, and first thing that does come to my attention is we just posted up another spinning top candle. So this to me, this was a bullish candle. Up until the very last minute, we were just watching this to form out as a bearish candle, right? I mean, it could have been any one of 5 different bearish candles that baby was going to throw up right there. And the saving bull grace the last few minutes, popped out and saved that can. It was like fourth quarter, fourth down, a million yards to go. The pressure was on, and the bulls pulled through and pulled that candle out. Now, looking at this candle once again, this did turn into a spinning top candle, which to me does signal and does say potential reversal incoming if that wasn't it. All right, we did use a lot of energy was expelled on that. A lot of buying power went in to push that candle up there. We did break a lot of things. We broke we were calling for that MACD to push over. I mean, there was just a no-brainer for that MACD call. I mean, we're in that MACD call. And I'm sure for the members who are out there right now, you guys saw my call. I posted up on the Twitter, right? Where's that at? Where's that sucker at? I posted up on Twitter. I said every single time that this baby gets this, you get this. Every single time you get this, this green, this cross right here. Every single time when you go back through history, right? I said you get a pump, you get a green diller, and we were all waiting for it. We were ready for it. I said not sure. Number 3 right there says not sure how high it'll be. It could be 100, 200 points. I said so sit and wait to enter a long trade until this gets closer, right? And a lot of us were in long scalping trades in that position, right? That's why I called that EOS trade. That's why we were in this. Now, let's be very specific, and this is easy to do. This isn't witchcraft that I knew we were going to get a pump there, right? It's just super simple looking. Good chartists look to the future. Great chartists look behind us, right? Great chartists look to the left, and that's just one thing you have to learn doing your own charts. You always need to be looking at the past in order to tell the future, right? And every single time we've come up and touched this line, look, green diller, right? Look at there, touch there, green diller, green diller. It's really awkward talking about dildos in a show. We gotta name these things something else, right? So, every time you do get a pop, right? So we've been watching these pops over and over and over and over. And this is really, it was an easy call that we knew this candle was coming. Now, one of the other things we've been talking about is if you look back historically, when you get these pops, they are much more substantial, right? Like, look at this one. Beautiful, right? You go down. Look at this one. Really nice, great bullish action. Even right here, this is a little on the soft side right here, but this one, beautiful. Pop this one, beautiful. A lot of really gorgeous candles when you do pop this this indicator line with your MACD line. But right now, what we see is a lot of weakness. It's hard not to look at this chart and say, well, every time we have been doing this, it's been getting just, you don't see the vigor, the vim, the follow through. There's just no oomph that follows these things up here, right? Yeah, these are just, yeah, these are just not, usually these pushes are followed by a continuation pattern of some kind, right? Especially how this one played out, and you got to really go back deep to see the last time we played something like this, right? This candle right here out, and you got to go all the way back here. Let me squishy this down some more. Right, you got to go all the way back to kind of, oh, let's see, where was it? Where is it at? Let me find it. The last time we did this and broke down and broke up, it's this one right here, right? This is it. So the last time we made this pattern, broke bearish, pulled up, did the double tap, pulled bearish, broke up, did the double tap, broke down again, broke up, and then melted, right? Now, let's look at what happened in this area right here when we had the same pattern play out. We did get a pullback. So we had a pullback, but then we retraced, pulled back one more time, then got a beautiful, beautiful push up before we had that final capitulation of the bulls, and you know, the price just melted away, right? Now we've been doing the same structure, but look at this structure right here. Look at this structure compared to this structure. This just had so much more momentum in it, so much more volume, so much more. Look at, and the volume's actually, there's more volume here for sure. We had a lot more volume. We have less volume here, but there was just a much more graceful push for the bulls, right? This was easier, where here we've played out exactly the same thing in a microcosm, right? So we should say this is the macro version of this. This is the micro version of this. And we're just seeing a microcosm of this event play out over here on this side. And listen, everyone's afraid. And that's all I can say. There's a lot of fear here. Nobody believes the hype. And anybody who just looks back here, right, and says, yeah, you're right, Vamp. This is the same. You're right, right? Needs to be, you know, I know there's a lot of bullish bias out there right now. There's a lot of people very bullish. And looking back on this is not, this is a good scalping opportunity in a bearish market, right? And trade the trend, scalp the bounces. Trade the trend, scalp the bounces. And this is exactly what I see. And this was an easy trade for us. This was almost a layup trade. This is one of those layup trades that's just too damn easy for us. We knew it was coming. All the members, we had a little rejoicing party. Now, looking at our trend right over here, let's look at our trade chart, right? This was our trade chart. Here was the bulls target too. Now, because Vamp is kind of idiot sometimes and should pay a little bit more attention, Vamp should have said, hey, this would be a pretty good place to put a target to Vamp at the 786. But, I want to say, I would like to just bring this up one more time, okay? So the reason I have this chart laid out, the reason I have all of these targets up here is because of this short call here. This particular short call has told me that we would get a retrace up here, right? Because that's usually what happens to these, and I had this in my older charts. If you guys go up to my older charts, there to there, 8-8 retrace, right? And this happens a lot. You pull these. Now this broke here clearly, right? But this is why I have this this chart here, is because I was looking at this pulling back to the 8-8. And this is, you know, and it's done it before. If you go back and you hunt down a lot of these short trades from the top. Look, here's this one right here. You know, short trade, this came up to the 8-8. Okay, oh, sorry, bank 12 hour. Sorry, 12 hours on the 6 hour. Okay, look, here it is. Short trade call, pulled back to the 8-8, fell out. Short trade call by the B scalper, right? B scalper called the short trade back to the 8-8, fell out. I mean, here's the B scalper, boom, called it back to the 8-8, fell out. It's just this too damn easy. Right? I mean, too damn easy. Now, was I expecting this insane Diller candle to show up here, right here? No, but look at what happened here. There's the big Diller candle, turned out to be a spinning top, right? Spinning top candle, big Diller candle, massive wick. You know, and then now we didn't quite hit the 8-8 target. Okay, big spinning top candle to pull this back up there, right? Let's take a look. You know, you had more bullish momentum here, but then you put in these last two spinning top candles, and then this thing fell out. Now, I am not going to take off the table one more little push up, but at the same time, I am clearly not bullish, right? I started to restack shorts again. So I already started restacking shorts. I waited till this candle closed, and I said, as soon as this candle closes, I'm going to start making some moves, right? When this candle closed with a wick this high right here, this is a very bearish, and then it closed out even better for me because it pulled this big spinning top candle that says, hey, Vamps, whoa, slow down there on the on making some long calls here, buddy. You need to be looking for this thing to be making some retracement even before it does give one more push up, because this is a spinning top candle. You got to be warned on that. So I'm gonna go over RSI. There's our RSI. Gave us the little look at this. Another reason this is a miserable place to trade. So this was our second reason to pull a long trade here, long scalping trade. Right, along scalping trades, because we're just sitting right here on the on this right here. Now we had a great session with the members today. They all got a video on how to make that first chart, and we had a really good session. But now I'm just waiting. I'm sitting here waiting. Right, what's gonna happen? Right, there it is. Look out when these touch. You get the big green diller. Right, I'm waiting to see there. Look, see how I conveniently have these pointing to the ones that have played out in the past. This one did give us a bull run. This one right here gave us a bull run. This is a beautiful little bull run right here. Okay, this one gave us a little pump back up, but died. So both of these have bullish intentions behind them. Let's see how bullish this one plays out. So this is a bullish event that did occur. We just need to see how much volume. Here's my newest chart, my VPVR chart. My basically, listen, this is this is what I posted last night. I said this is kind of it. I am more than ever convinced that we are still going back down. Okay, there's nothing that is changing my mind here. I am still 65% bearish that we're going back down, and we will test the lower regions.
No Lambo?
No Lambo. There's, well, if you're doing a good job shorting, you can buy a Lambo, right? If you're doing a good job shorting. In fact, Ryan just bought himself a really nice new car. So Ryan bought himself a very nice new car. And he's been shorting, and he's been making a killing shorting. Now, here's our chart. I still had, these are my, look at this. Look at this is my chart, right? From yesterday. This can break over the 618, possible touch of this 786, 6,700 to 6,733. Look at that candle right there. Now, the vamp was wrong, okay, because the candle hit 67.43. I will absorb the hit. Trolls come and get me. There you go. The vamp was wrong. It does happen. Now, we have not turned the corner on this ADX chart. We have not turned the corner on this ADX chart. Until this ADX chart turns to the pink bubble, this has to turn pink. I'm not doing nothing, right? I can't call this bear nor bull, but should be the biggest warning sign to all of crypto right now. Ignore all the other charts, ignore everything else you're watching right now, ignore everybody else's TA. This is the one line in crypto that's going to be the deciding factor for all of ours. Everything, and I'm going to come back over and over and over. I'm going to beat you guys over the head with this line, and this can be a great bullish thing that will tell us that baby Jesus was born back over here. Baby Jesus was born back over in July, I think it was, the second coming, and or this will be the fall down to find the next lower low. Okay, this line is what we're all hanging on. As for our volatility chart, look, we had that insane wick in this thing. The volatility chart barely even moved. We had so little action on the volatility chart. I do have to reset this. I apologize. We got to pull up the members area one. There it is. Okay. So we just no motion on this, very little movement on the historic volatility chart. So what that tells me is no clear decision has been made. When I see a decision being made, like a dramatic decision, the historical volatility chart tells me, Chris, yes, this is a real legitimate move. You need to pay damn attention because this thing is a turnaround, right? Like, look, bam, right? There it is. This is, look, bullish move, long stretching, bullish moves, right? When this thing really takes off and really gives us some motion, this thing tells us, okay, this is a legitimate turn around, or this is a reversal. I'm not joking. All this thing has done is just play with my emotions so far, right? I feel like, honestly, I feel like someone's girlfriend that hasn't been called for 3 days. Why do I have to call you first? Why do I always have to call you first? I don't feel I should always have to call you first. So, I mean, this is exactly what is going on here, right? Indecision. The market has not changed directions. This is neither bull and nor bear. We have not made a change of direction, right? That's all we're doing. We're still flatlined here. We have not broken out. We're still trapped in indecision. Okay? From my all right, I'll go. I'm gonna go check it out, buddy. All right. So looking at our Stoke charts, right? Our Stoke chart on our 4 hour. It's just clearly is still in a bearish posture. Still in a bearish. These look like the bear claws still out, still folded over. Once again, I don't. I just now the 4 hour shows a possible. This was a bear cross, right? Bullish cross. So when the 20 crosses on top of the Tenkan line, you get a bear bullish cross. Now if this falls out here, you are about to get I'm sorry, this is a bullish cross. When 20 crosses on top of the Tenkan, it is bullish. When the 20 crosses under the Tenkan, it is bearish. You have 3 hours left in this. If this does cross up here, you will have another bearish cross on your chart right there. Same thing. All right, now you do have a possibility of a bullish cross, right? Right here, you'd have the possibility of a bullish cross. You do have all your stacked below you. Everything, the Kaiju and everything is stacked below you. Coming on over there, 12-hour. Tenkan is now working as support for us. There's how deep we can go, 64.50, 64.75. No help on the daily chart right here. The daily chart is not giving us anything but a top line area for resistance. And there we go. We're going to let the shorts to longs absolutely 50-50 right down the gullet. Nothing is giving me a signal one way to go or another. I swear, the next person that says there's going to be a short squeeze, I swear to God, I'm going to unfollow him and call her ass out on Twitter. There is no squeezes. No squeezes long, no squeezes short, no squeezes at your house, no squeezes at my house. I'm married. Squeezes happen like twice a week if I'm lucky, okay? But there's not a lot of squeezes going on here, all right? Now, the Chon gets the squeeze much more often than I get the squeeze with his yachts and hookers and hoes and his Lamborghini and everything else he has, okay? We're just not going to bring that up right now, okay? So just like that mean virus, where do you get that cough from? Is that Mexico? Was that a Colombian? Was that a Colombian girl you were dating? She gave you the cough?
I don't.
The good news is you only get a rash like once every 2 or 3 weeks, but those rashes go away. Okay, that's the good news for the Chon, the Playboy himself. All right, looking at these longer term charts right here, right? No direction has been nothing. Haven't broken out here, haven't broken out here, haven't broken out here. Nothing is broken. Nothing looks to be breaking. I still am neither, I'm still trapped. I can't make a call. I can't make a call, bull nor bear. I can't. I don't feel we've made a change on the weekly chart. And in fact, if anything is doing anything on the weekly chart over here, watching this get played out in this on this spinning top doji, whatever the F this is going to turn out to be, rising wedge, right? Clearly a rising wedge here. I just don't know. Had that hanging man candle posted up there, we're still not sure. Still uncertain here in the marketplace. Still, it's just tight. Nothing's changed. Look at this. Yeah, here. Look at how well these fibs work. They're like magic, right? So you pull your fib from top to bottom. Bam on the 618. Got rejected. We're just going to have to see. I mean, look at this. Got rejected there. Got rejected there. The 618 area just was money playing out. Nothing. No decision can be made here for anything. Now, could I count that as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I could look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. 1, 2, 3, pulled back for your 4, ran up to 5, looking to retrace there. A little bit harder for me. Now, could I count this as a wave 1, 2? This would have been your wave 3. That's also possible, right? But look at my E, that kind of landed conveniently on the E here. Looking at the higher time frame, Stokes, MACD, and RSI. 2-day, let's see what we got here. Just posted up a brand new 2-day candle. Quasi bullish candle on the 2-day. 3-day, nope, still marching in that 3-day candle dimension. It just looks like a rising wedge. Honestly, guys, this looks like a rising wedge here. Looks like this is compressing. If anything at all, I look at this chart and I just want to throw a symmetrical triangle on this bad boy and just say, seriously, let's just get this over with. Let's take a look at the dog. The dog is still barking. The dog is still trapped in the end of this symmetrical triangle. Can't make somebody just take the dog for a walk, right? The dog has to go for a walk. That's all it's saying. Throw the ball, take it for a pootie. Right. Listen, XRP fans out there, you did break south of the on the 12-hour chart. Actually, 6 hours on the 6 hour, 12-hour daily. Let's see. Daily chart. This is the key. The daily chart is your key right here. You got to get up over this 200 MA. The 200 MA is the struggle for XRP fans. And this is the life or death struggle. It's all occurring right around that 200 day. Listen, snapped out of this. What a horrible candle. Horrible candle. I got wrecked on that. Still went out with guns blazing and my 23% in my pocket. I have started to relayer shorts here. So I am going to relayer shorts here. I do think we can pull up. I think it's totally possible we can pull up. So I've just started to layer very small shorts. Our EOS trade. Now I got into this EOS trade as a long. I did move my stop loss up higher, so I'm looking to march out of this thing in profit. It's using the 618 right now as a support and the 382. Let's see if it can hold on to this support. If it does lose support here at $5.80, if it does lose the support, I will look for this to possibly come down and test the bottom of this wedge. Tron. Man, look at the nice move on Tron. Good job, Tron. Nice rally. Came down, tapped it, just fell out of the sky. Whales playing whale games here. Probably one of the worst coins to trade right now. Look at that. Look, if you were trading this, you went long, you got wrecked. You went short, you got wrecked. You went long, you got wrecked. If you're long, you're about to get wrecked again. This is absolutely the worst, right? This is like dating a bipolar female. Some of you will, some of you won't understand that. Here's our daily Tron chart. Still the 618 was my target. Looking for this E wave to possibly break up a little bit higher. Have not changed. Litecoin, just somebody do something. Somebody do something. Chon, take it away, buddy. Go for it, Chon. Chon.
Yeah.
Look, he's pretty.
So yeah, I agree with all that. I mean, it's just another situation where we're in this extremely tight equilibrium with Bitcoin, and because of that, we've allowed some of our altcoins to have themselves a little pop. We saw this a couple of weeks ago where Bitcoin was breaking bearishly, and actually the BTC ratios of Litecoin were actually moving bullishly, while the USD pairings were ranging bearishly. And that's another example here of where Bitcoin just runs the show here. But when it does go sideways with relative leaning towards bullishness, and at least all the bear breaks tend to get bought up, we can see bullish moves in various altcoins depending on the chart setups, the bottom accumulation, and the overall pumps and money flows that are allowed to be in certain coins. And obviously, the more exchanges they're on, Tron's an excellent example of that. There's enough facility available to push a lot of money into it and have those quick volatile moves. And as Vamp just said, if you went long, you got wrecked. If you went short, you got wrecked in a very short amount of time, because that's the kind of volatility we always seem to deal with in crypto. Now, this could be the completion of a 5-wave count here, at least short term into October here. The 5 did basically hit a between the 618 and the 786 extension of our wave 3 there. Our 4 found support above our 1, and everything kind of feels valid here for that. But more so than that, we notice this support line here, which was basically now is becoming resistance. And, when we broke bearishly from it, we did have a back test here. I'm gonna get rid of my Elliott here. And now we're just trying to back test it once again, falling up short once again on our little bull pop here. And I do say little bull pop because, yeah, I mean, granted, we went up what $100 or so, and this was the only candle on the 45-minute right here on XBT. And what we're seeing here is all these little pops. It's the kind of market we're in, right? But what we're seeing here is these bullish bull pops just get a little weaker and a
I
little weaker.
just am going to point that out, that's a man who had a long, hard night right there, okay?
It's I try and it's work hard, play hard, right? But we're basically seeing this continuation of this bearish rejection of our previous support line that basically started 2 weeks ago in September there. So that's notable, along with what we watch here in terms of our. Let me zoom in here. So you guys know, like, I like to use EMA 12, 24, 26, and 55 as my indicators here. Those are the ones I watch to see how they dance with each other, to see if the bull crosses, the bear crosses here. Now, yes, this bullish move on the 4-hour chart did allow this to cross bullishly and begin what we call that fan out process here, where EMAs fan out. Here's an example where they fanned out bearishly, and you can watch the spacing of these and know when you're kind of in the extreme oversold and or overbought areas by the spacing of your EMAs that you choose to use. There's no right or wrong answer which EMAs you choose to use, but when you use them, you want to stick with them and learn how they dance with the price action, because that will allow you to spot these instances where the market is oversold or overbought, and those are excellent buying opportunities, either if you're long or shorting. So this wick again is notable, and we've seen it many times in our bullish pops here. Vamp bought up our longs and shorts, and I mean, we've basically been watching situation here where neither one is extreme unto itself. We've had short squeezes in the past. We have basically been able to see areas where we're either too cocky in our shorts or even too cocky in our longs on the bear breaks there. Yesterday's daily candle in the longs definitely is a decent candle there. I mean, it's a very nice bullish candle there, which was followed previously by a bottoming hammer, and this long wick is notable. So the longs, even though they're still in a downtrend, won yesterday's battle as the shorts kind of broke bearishly from this bear flag. And kind of what that means there, this was a setup to allow that next pop that we saw in Bitcoin. But again, there's nothing too extreme out of here. We're still hugging our lower resistance of our bear flag on our shorts, and we're still sub our EMA 55 that has kept us bearishly down for almost a week now. And as Vamp said, there's no extreme either overbought or oversold, although we are still close enough on our short contracts to retesting potentially that all-time high area there. And that can just open up all sorts of new doors for very bearish bets on the price of Bitcoin. I also want to bring up just real quick here, if I could, this tweet I put out early in the day. We talk a lot about certain, Litecoin, and specifically about is it showing us the way? Is it showing us potential the route that Bitcoin may be taking while leading the way bearishly? And is it kind of giving us a glimpse into the possible future of what a bear break in Bitcoin could look like? So I asked the question. We saw Litecoin. I'm on the monthly charts here, had an initial test and support hold of the middle Bollinger Band when it first touched. And actually, the following month had actually a pretty nice bull pop intra-month. The third month, though, it actually found the middle BB as resistance, which it had been support the previous 2 months. Now, Bitcoin is on a similar third tap of our middle Bollinger Band on the Bitfinex monthly chart. And I currently do not see this as a support test line hold. I actually see it as one more weakening momentum bullishly, where it's just setting up to break bearish and to reset our middle BB as our monthly as a line of resistance instead of a line of support. So I am still, making note of Litecoin. Yes, the bearish divergence of Litecoin happened pretty much when it broke 100. Maybe Litecoin's 100 is equivalent of Bitcoin's 6750, and when Litecoin did break 100, which seemed to be a very firm area where we had bounced significantly with Litecoin twice when we touched that $100 area. It then proceeded to lose another 50% of its value, where it actually currently has found support around the $49 to $47 range. So could that once again be that sign of what Bitcoin could be in store of potentially a break of this area? Could bring us down to a Bitcoin 3K area, and a $3,000 Bitcoin. For me personally, Big Chonis is kind of the area where I'm expecting a really solid bottom out. I'm not saying it's kind of bottom and moon, but based on the charting and kind of where we've been and where we could be going, I would love to be able to test the closer to 3K area of Bitcoin. I would be a buyer and a hodler of Bitcoin, no matter what the price action happened after that. And that's driven by the fact that the chart, I feel, still needs to correct. And we talk about bullish breaks and bearish breaks, and it's all relative here. We've been in this tight equilibrium for such a long time. $100 here, $100 there. Twitter goes nuts. Until we start seeing those whale calls liquidate. Shorts liquidating or longs liquidating with a bigger move with real money flow. The pattern trend is going to continue. Daily chart here on Finex, we're wedged between a resistance of our EMA 55, and we're still supporting EMA 12 to EMA 26, which have not crossed bullishly. Intraday they have, and currently right now, intraday, they are barely crossing bullishly here. But we've done this a couple times along the way. So until we can close above, I would not consider this cross of significance until we can actually close above it. So that's significant to me, where I want to see the follow-up of this current daily candle. And this daily candle is going to be pretty important, because this is going to kind of set the tone for what's ahead. And as Vamp said, when can we get out of this range where every bull pop is then sold off into, in terms of people taking profits? Are profits being taken now where they can be gotten? Yes.
Hey, Chone, real quick question
Yo.
on that chart that you have right there. Are the highs getting lower? It's hard to tell with the wick of that previous candle. I mean, it looks like the bodies are getting lower, but are those the two red wicks? You've got those two tall red wicks right there. That one right there, and then the one to the right of it. Are the what is the range? Are those? Is that a little lower, or yeah, it looks like it's a little bit lower. So
yeah, it is a hair lower. And it's also a good point to keep note of the closing candle body. So we did have a lower candle body resistance that we closed above. So that is notable if you want to just use the candle bodies alone. And again, there's a little variance exchange to exchange. But yes, from this candle on September 22nd to this one here on 24th, yeah, -5. It was a little bit lower, and even this bull pop is still lower. So yes, lower highs are still in play, as well as higher lows are still in play.
Yep.
And sideways we go on low to moderate volume. So when we're in this pattern, the only things we can really use is to find any kind of divergences on our indicators here. Even a trickle up of our RSI above 50, is notable, but it's not very convincing. Angles of our stochastic bullishly is notable, but it's not very convincing. Even though we still kind of trend down her, our MACD, slowly moving higher is notable, but not very convincing. And all we got to really look forward to is kind of time. And this is where I think the more leaning bearish stance comes into play, is our past bull runs. From a time standpoint, we have a very clear picture as to how long it takes from our low, kind of to our not high. This one here from July took a month. This one here took about 21 bars, so 3 weeks. And right now, from our low to where we are now, we're closing in on a little over 2 weeks. I guess I don't really want to start this one here. I could, but really our low was this lower low here on September 19th on this crazy wick. So what this is showing us is that we kind of have declining from a time perspective bullish moves. And once again, if this line of 31 bars, 21 bars, 17 bars is in play, we're running to the end of our bullish momentum normally, where we then break quite bearish. And listen, when the last two times we broke bearish, we really broke bearish. So I think that's why the hesitation to continue to hold on these bull pops is relevant and very apparent in this current market. And until proven otherwise, any bull pops are going to continue to be sold off until there's a reason to hold longer than normal. And we're just not seeing that yet in the market. And if we can see bullish divergences appearing, if we can see, Ripple's move was significant. It broke quite a downtrend, but only with a continuation of that move can we make it as actually, wow, a real trend change on a major coin. Or was it just another quick pump that's basically being deflated with zero volume follow-up? Bitcoin can always set the tone on this, and said earlier in the show, we could still trickle sideways for another week until we really have a definitive move. And believe me, it's coming. Hey, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Got it. Okay. So here's this chart right here I have, and what I'm showing is basically the historic supports and resistance areas of what's just been going on in the past, and I'm gonna kind of lay this out in 3 levels. Okay, so we're gonna break this down in 3 levels. So this is going to be level 1. All right. So we're just gonna make this level orange. Okay, level 1. And then all of this is level 1 here. Okay, so when I look at this breakdown of these 3 moves, 1, 2, 3, okay, I kind of want to break this down into 3 separate levels. Then you had your pump, right? Here's your pump level. We'll give this the green, right? We'll make it green. Up, not yellow. Let's do green. Okay, so you had your let's call it accumulation zone, right? So this would have been your accumulation zone. This would have then been your pump. So we had our accumulation zone, and then there's our pump right there. Chon, you agree with that? Chon, he's not there. So
Yeah, I do agree with that. And that because that zone of accumulation allowed that bull pop to actually happen.
yes. So now I've got to look over here, right? And then we're gonna call this. This would be considered this is your final warning pop, right? So we're going to put this one yellow. So this is kind of your final warning pop right here. It's like, okay, there you go, right? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. And it's almost like a rocket, right? Where the rocket booster falls off, right? And then the rocket booster falls off. And your accumulation zone, your pump 2, 3, accumulation zone, pump 2, 3. And this is your warning, and then it fell out. Now, my thing is this looks like this right here, but it looks like this. I want to do it like this right here. You see what I'm saying? It looks sideways. It looks like we're doing the same thing. We're just doing it sideways. We're just doing it like this. You know, it's the same upward motion we had here, right? I just feel it looks like we're possibly putting this in sideways right here. Now let me pull into this because it's getting a little fuzzy right here, right? So I feel that we're kind of doing this sideways, right? And you know, just looking at this, pretty simple. Bam, there's my top right there, right? Pretty easy to find that top zone, right? Wicks, 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 wick through it, wicks. Pretty easy to find that top zone, 68 right there. But my issue is I feel like this almost is starting to look like this. It's starting to look like this was your green, right? Then this was your, either this one or this one is turning out to be your yellow, right? These are turning out to be your yellow, and they're not able to get up over that, because looking at this pattern, like how you pointed out, one of the things you pointed out is the time frame of this pattern, right? You looked at the time frame, you said, hey, you know, everybody look at the time frame from the bottom to the dump, right? Bottom to the basically top, your 30 bars, bottom to the top, right? You have 21 bars. Okay, and even if we go call this the bottom to the top, oop, cancel. We go bottom to the top right here, right? 28, 29, 30 bars. So it's 30, 28 bars. Okay, so looking at these, each one of these individual pumps as they've moved through time, and you know, you can always pull this back. I mean, that's okay. Right, so there you go. So I'd look at this as 30 bars. Actually, I'd probably go a little bit more, 32. This is kind of where the bottom was called. Now remember, this is your low-hanging wick. Here's your low-hanging wick, and there's your low-hanging wick, right? And when I look at this, I look, you played out 32 bars here to get all the way up to the top, maybe 33, okay? You've played out 28 bars here, and I feel you've put in the same amount of energy with volume. Really, the volume is definitely lower, so your static volume is moving lower. But this looks like this is just, it's really struggling for me to make the break of here, to really put in this perpetual green wave, right? This green wave. Because look, now if you go back, you can easily say, okay, Vamp, well, what about this one right here, right? Why aren't you looking at that wave? Okay, so let's put that wave in right there. There's our pink wave, right? And I can go over here and I can put the pink wave in right here, right? But then I can go over here and I can put that pink wave in right here. See, so I can, you know, it's kind of like at what point, you know, or let's just put that there. There's your pink wave. And then there's this wave right here, this little bounce wave right there. Right? I mean, I can go back and I can break this down. I can keep breaking this down and find all the same similarities. 1, 2, right? You got 1, 2, just in the easy flow, right? Same flow pattern, right? 1, 2, flow, 1, 2, flow. And then 1, 2, I mean, it's the same. This looks the same to me. It just doesn't. It looks like it needs a Colombian or something like that.
It's the same pattern of it's the bullish pattern, but playing out 3 times where each time has declining money flow. So that's why the bull pops are less, the green candles are less, and now we're getting a sideways flaccid price action because it wants to break bullish and the declining volume is not allowing it. And that's kind of why this rollover, it just looks like it's ready to roll over at some point.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. This thing is so close. Now for me, I mean, my thing I would like to see now. This is I'm still going to call this a bearish candle. It's a spinning top, right? But for me, I mean, I would like to see this break this line, right? Because this broken line, if it can't break this higher high right here, and this is just a clear downtrend, I would like to see this get up to this one last, right? Can you do it, right? Can you do it? You know, 67, 80 to 68, 20-ish, you know, kind of a little run right up into here, right? 68.50-ish. But I have a feeling, right? 60.50-ish, there you go. So my issue is I'm stuck right here because I look at these patterns and these patterns look like they've played out. The resistance look like it has taken hold here. And this looks like this dropped from here to here to here. And if we go find those candles, which is the next thing I want to do, I want to go find these candles, right? There's one. There's two, right? There's three. Okay, so these are the three candles we just put in. So we just put in, this is a high, this is a high, this is a lower high. And then this was our candle we just put in today for our little, our nubby, right? So I'm looking at these candles. I want to see if there's a correlating pattern of volume. So bearish volume increased, drop, bearish volume increased. Yeah, so when I look at this, this is what I see. I see dropped, bearish volume rose, right? Dropped, this dropped twice, bearish volume rose, right? And then the next thing, the key thing I see is I see this. Here was the first green candle. Here was the next green candle. And here was the last green candle. So you see that you've put in consecutive larger volumes of bearishness, followed by a top here. This was your top. This was your second punch. This was your third punch right here. So you have three layers. And looking at this right here almost makes me want to go back and do the same thing right over here. It makes me want to come back and start to look at these and see if these are comparable in any way to this, right? You know, so you go back and you're like, okay, I'm gonna grab this arrow, and this is our top, right? So there's our top candle, and there's our next top, and there's our next top, right? So we have that top, and that top, okay? So now we've done the inverse. So look at this. This is the inverse of what's happening here. Top, 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 top. So we've had the inverse reaction to our volume here, where we've had a more bearish downtrend of our volume here that's occurred. And let me try to draw that out. I know it's a little hard for people to see that, but you've gone from here to here with the volume there, where here our tops, right? Our tops have gone here and here like that. So we've done actually the inverse. Okay, and if we come back over here, let's squeeze these down. So there's, put this one in. This one would probably be it, because that was the big candle right there. And then there's our first run. So there's our first run. So our first run, yeah, yep. So now we're going to have to look at this, and our pattern was much easier, right? That was a much easier play right there, right? Volume increase, price increased. That was beautiful, right? But here, volume increased, volume decreased, price increased, right? Volume increased, price fell off of a freaking wagon, Okay. Now we're looking here. And if we want to look here, I have to say, there's our pattern. Right? Is that close, Joe?
Yeah, I see it.
All right. And Chone, let's go for it. Go for it on your chart, buddy. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much more to add. Just looking at the
Oh.
weekly chart here.
Could you do the
What do
weekly?
you got?
Then just one more thing before we go. Could you please do a? Could you please do one more thing for me? Could you pull up the Litecoin chart at 6 hours with the RSI after you do the weekly? Do that weekly one.
Sure.
Go.
Yeah, okay. Weekly Bitfinex Bitcoin chart. Just like the daily chart, our Bollinger Bands are tightening. Still very wide, though. And this just tells me that we could be in for many more months and weeks of relatively sideways price action, give or take. Every once in a while, there'll be a larger move. But what you have to consider is these are still tremendously wide and outside of the standard deviation, tighter compared to where we had come from. But for the majority of Bitcoin, up until our 2014 parabolic move, um, our weekly Bollingers are relatively very tight, and this is still in an extreme with circumstance, and I find that is notable, basically denoting a long winter is still yet to come, as well as this line here is my EMA 12, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going on our fourth week now. Now we have 2 more days left in the candle. We are on the tightest candle body. We are literally exactly where we started this week. Okay, 5 days ago. We are literally exactly to the penny almost where we started the week. We had a bearish wick, we had a bullish wick. Both were sold off, or if you bought into it, you could have sold off into it. Higher lows, lower highs. But again, we're keeping this resistance line intact, and all of our bullish breaks have gone one step down. Our July bullish break broke through our 12, 55, and 26. Our August bull break broke through our 12.55, but got rejected from our 26. And now our October, September, quote unquote, bull break is currently being rejected by the EMA 12. So declining resistance lines remain intact, and any bull pops can only take us so far before excuse me, that rejection will continue on, once again, notably declining a volume. So you wanted a side by side of the 6 hour LTC. And 6 hour. Where am I looking here? Oh, there we go. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Are you in Phoenix? Yeah. Are you on 14? Are you RSI 14 on the those? Is that your setting? Uh, oh. Yeah, that's the same. This one. You don't have this breakthrough, you just have a rejection? LTC, Bitfinex, yeah, Bitfinex, RSI 14.
Yeah, there you go. All
I think
right,
we're
cool.
muted.
No, you're good. They can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
that looks good. Yeah, see, so it does kind of poking through. It is kind of giving the pokey poke. Yeah, I was explaining to him that where to put it, where to stick that big line, Daddy. Put the line into place, damn it. Yeah, right. Okay. So, anyways, I just wanted to take a look at the RSI. So here's, and see what, and just kind of look at this RSI, and I have this kind of wedged up right here, right? So now draw a wedge line from the bottom to the top on that too, on the bottom side also, because you got a wedge on the bottom of that. There you go. Yeah. And I still have that kind of in the channel. I have that up a little bit higher. I have that if you adjust your line, I kind of have it in the channel just like this
Oh,
right here,
I
just like
wonder
that.
if
See mine
if
right
we
here.
did
See, take a look at my screen.
that.
See, that's kind of what I'm seeing right there,
Oh,
right?
you're right. Yours does touch, doesn't it?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
You're in the 4 hour, and that's Phoenix.
Yeah, it's Phoenix.
Uh,
Seriously, I'm like, what? WTF, man? All right. Anyways, I was looking at this and I was saying, hey, look, Litecoin just did not break out, right? It just didn't get that final breakout right there. Yeah, I didn't use that one. I used the one. Hey, yeah, yours is. No, I used the one previous to that. That's what it is. That's what's different. I didn't go back that far. I pulled my tighter. I tried to make that line.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. All right. So,
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a resistance once again, and another example of the tightening equilibrium pattern.
yes, there it is. Great success. There it is. Damn it, we're gonna make that thing look. We're gonna make that thing fit. Express says Litecoin looks pretty good if you look at LTC BTC chart. Got it. So the Litecoin Bitcoin chart, it looks a little more healthier. So it's hard for me not to look at this and say this wasn't our original channel right here, and it's hard for me not to just point out and say, oh, this was clearly our original channel, and nothing has changed. I look at this. I look at Litecoin actually, and I'm more bearish on Litecoin because of this arcing structure right here. So where you had this arcing, this wicked arcing structure that came down, I just looked at that and that thing was very wicked. Go ahead, Sean, give your chart.
Yeah, I mean, LTC, BTC. This is the ratio, and once again, we are doing this triple touch of this very historic lower trend support line on the weekly chart. And I bring up the weekly because you see how we wicked here. You see how, again, this is just the ratio of Bitcoin to Litecoin. This doesn't necessarily translate to price action where Bitcoin could be tanking, Litecoin could be holding, although we haven't really seen that in a while. But this is setting up a couple parameters. I always love a double touch of a support line. You can definitely get a nice bullish bounce, but a triple touch of a lower support line, I'm always very suspect of. So right now we're kind of in this bear flag, I feel, on the LTC BTC ratio, and because of that, this line is set up to break bearish. And what that means is you could see Litecoin on a bearish Bitcoin break, actually declining more rapido. And I mean, we bought them at $47 USD or something like that, 49. So we could definitely break bearish on Litecoin with just the littlest of Bitcoin bear break, relatively speaking. On the chat room? Lemar.
So
What, the
don't you
BTC?
think that
Lemar?
looks don't you think Litecoin looks a little bullish though? I mean, when I look at that chart, I think that's going to go to the moon. Don't you think that thing's going to the moon? I
200,
have
right?
I think it looks like it's going to go to 200. I mean, I heard it from a very reliable source that
Uh-oh.
Litecoin is
Uh-oh.
supposed to go super high this year. I mean, you should definitely see if you can
I
put
know where
some
this is
kind
going.
of this looks like
Marius. But hey, if you wanna, I mean, seriously though, let's just talk about a couple Marius-esque scenarios here, because you have to ask yourself if Litecoin can stick around and basically be a part of the next bull run that Bitcoin has. Is it not logical to basically see this this parabolic move as potentially just a wave one of a larger five-wave structure that's yet to basically take place? And if we bottom somewhere in the 30s, which is kind of where I would be a buyer of Litecoin, we can get back down to the 30s there. We can talk about all of our decent, very promising extensions of our wave three.
listen.
And
I,
listen, you can
I'm,
take us
I'm
over $1,000.
I am going to make if Litecoin does not hit $1,000 by December, I will eat a giant box of chocolate covered strawberries. Okay, that is my vow to everyone
Van, don't
here.
do it, Van. Don't do it. Don't do it. Calories? Are you kidding me? The seeds? You just
One
sucking your seeds?
box. All right, seriously. I do have a very bad problem with edible arrangements. Okay, listen, you put a box of edible arrangements in front of my ass, and it is over. It is over, right? You need to short the box of edible arrangements within 10 feet of Vamp because they will be gone. They will be
You're
gone.
harsh on yourself.
Yeah, we're just
Listen,
playing,
every
guys.
time
We're totally playing
I
here.
know, but
Okay, go ahead. Finish your
bullish.
I threw
Okay.
him off. I threw him off. Go ahead. Finish your Litecoin TA.
Litecoin just broke significantly bearish quicker than Bitcoin did. Obviously, it's followed suit with a lot of the altcoins. Remember, it bullishly popped and paralogically topped off a couple of weeks or a week or so after Bitcoin did. So I am fine with the assumption that Litecoin, just like all the other S coins, um, has had its bear break with stability as Bitcoin is stable. But I have no doubt that a bear break in Bitcoin, which I'm still assuming is the case, will take us to significantly lower altcoin prices across the board and a much better buying opportunity. And we keep monitoring, everything from our market cap to our 24-hour volume. Bitcoin's dominance has been stuck at 52%, basically above 50%. Can't get as high as 57. Doesn't seem to get as low as 50. We've seen circumstances where the bullish break of Bitcoin basically creates that sucking sound kind of out of the altcoins. So if Bitcoin has its bull move, let's just say, does not necessarily translate to a across the board alt rally. We've seen circumstances where Bitcoin actually pops very bullish and sucks a lot of money out of altcoins. But we know that when it breaks bearish, it will absolutely suck that money out of altcoins, and on very few circumstances do you actually see that bullish divergence play out. We're still mired in the sub 4 billion market cap, 24-hour volume of Bitcoin, still 114 billion. We have tested 100 billion several times. It's held, but how many times? And now we have over 2,000 cryptocurrencies that are available to trade out there in the world, and it just keeps growing. So a spreading out, what do you call it? Whatever you call it. Well, when you're spreading out stuff, there's deflationary. It's delusional. It's taking all the money that should go into specific coins, and just all these new coins that come on the market.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, yeah. It's basically a diffusion of all the capital. It's a diffusion of all the
Yeah,
liquid
and
capitals going into
yes,
all these
thank
alts.
you. And the only way to break that, the only way to really break that trend is to bring them all to their knees with a significant bearish dump of Bitcoin and therefore crypto in general. And that in itself will allow the whole market as a whole to build off of that and to heal and to eventually climb higher. It's kind of all I got. I mean, it just seems like all the videos like the past couple of weeks is just kind of a replay of the previous day. A nice little bull break followed by a complete sell off, and then a nice little sell off followed by a little bit of buying action. And we're weeks into this, but it's not going to last forever. And you got to ask yourself, where is this phantom money going to come from? The exchanges, the bots, the algos, the computer programs, the Fortnite players, they can only keep this market afloat for above 6K for so long. And as a trader, we look at these tremendous opportunities. I feel be of hand when this does make a decisive move.
Yeah, no, I agree. So in closing, what are your thoughts over the next 24 hours here?
Um, we can go into this weekend and still kind of being the same price point because of where our weekly chart and our weekly candle currently is. There's no reason that we can't kind of end up where we are right now. We are still holding a higher low, lower high. As I said before, we can still keep this pattern afloat. For a little bit longer until we break this pattern. But right now, we basically have an equilibrium wick low of 64.30 and a wick high of 67.30. So we have a $300 spread of equilibrium, and that is incredibly tight.
Hey, and look at the volume.
So
Talk about the volume on the
yeah,
weekly.
as our volume continues to decline, and that's notable. So I will note that when we have seen our volume decline, it's been preceded by a very large volume. So this declining volume is setting up for something of a larger move. And right now, the chart is still telling me it's going to be that bearish move. We have to get above these areas here. EMAs of rejection are holding, and for the third time, we're putting in lower lows. I'm not as I admit the higher lows are apparent, but these definitive rejections up here have been massive and bloody, and these supports have been, we stopped the bleeding. We stopped the bleeding. We've cauterized the wound for the moment. Um, and because of that trend, the Bears are going to continue to have that larger axe, that larger hammer of rejection. That I feel the Bulls have a larger, ability to move higher with this declining volume. I still don't see this as sellers drying up. I see this as buyers drying up, and the exchanges and algos just kind of supporting it, denoted by these lower wicks. If this was an accumulation zone here, you've had weeks to basically enjoy this mid 6,000 Bitcoin as a bottoming event, and onward we go. So don't complain if you miss the boat, and don't FOMO in if you feel like the market's about to take off, because we've seen those bull traps consistently take off and happen right before that dump happens on this wick, on this wick, on this wick, and potentially with these 2 wicks here on our weekly, which are kind of tweezerish. So we'll see if this week here, we have 2 days left in this candle, can produce anything more than another hanging man or another spinning top tight doji here, because that's what we have rocking right now. Only with a break above 6,800 and close above would make this a nice hammer and a good way to build off it into next week. But until then, even if we like a yeah. We got to really blast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And this volume again just continues to be the narrative of the past month. Muted.
Okay, so what I did is I am looking at the the I reshorted ETH, okay? Because I didn't like this BTC candle right here. I didn't like the BTC candle that was posted up on the 12-hour. I sure don't like the one that was posted up on the daily. Now, on the good side, we did clear up and over on our RSI chart, right? So our RSI, we did get a bullish break on our RSI. And unfortunately, let me update this to the members area one. All right, let me update this to the members area. Hold on a second. This is the one we have over. This better be. I'm going to be pissed. Come here. Come here. Oh, it's not. Okay. So on, hold on a second. Let me reset this. You guys can actually see what the members one is. And hold on. And reset. Let's try this one more time. All right, give me a, come down here, get down here. I don't know why TradingView does this. It's the weirdest thing, right? All right, so here's my, this is the members area, what we're looking at right here. I said we're still in a bullish pop zone. This could just be a pop to make a run and not a run because of market weakness. Something still being this close is a danger zone to short trades, which we clearly saw. Bears need to break the 44 RSI, right, which is all the way down here. Bulls need to break the 53 RSI, right, which is the first one right here for a scalp. Then they need to break the 55.6 to be bullish. So they got to get all the way up here, and this should probably say 57. So I'm going to put a horizontal line right here, right? I'm going to lock that in place. So this should probably say 57.16. So I will edit this. 57.16. So, the 6. All right, so this is my feeling. The bulls need to break out over this. Now, they are in a bullish territory right now. So the bulls are in a bullish scalp territory. So you clearly, at this point, are technically, it's hard to say this, but you're technically safer in a long trade right now, being on the bullish side. With market weakness, though, you are in a bad precarious position, both long and short, being this close. So we're no different than we were just a few hours ago. A few hours ago, we were hovering on the downside of this, saying, okay, you got to be careful going long here, going short here. You got to be careful with anything, any movement. And then sure enough, I mean, I can't even tell you how many people just got wrecked out of trades, right? But now we're just doing the inverse, right? Now we're still in the indecision zone that our historic chart showed you, and we haven't made a move yet, right? I need to see this RSI get up and break over, and let me set an alarm over here. Right, I'm going to set an alarm, and where's my alarm at? Damn it. How come my alarm, I don't have a damn alarm over here? Alert on horizontal ray. Okay. All right. Okay. So now what we need to do is we just need to come over here and we need to break this on the bullish side to get a little bit of a bullish pop. Now be careful, because with this rejection here of the RSI on this scenario, we have just like here put it in a lower low. So we put in a lower low. And if this does break down, we'll have put in a fourth lower low on the RSI. 1, 2, 3. This has been our third lower low. First lower low, second lower low. This would be our third lower low. So using this indicator to look at what the possibilities are, not the price action, I do see that the RSI has called us with 3 lower lows, but it's also called us with higher highs. So we're still trapped in this ugly divergent area of uncertainty, and trading in this area once again is probably a no-go zone unless you have just mega balls and or you're using low leverage. Okay, so that's my recommendation. Now, trading on the over here on the MACD bubble chart, very simple. Trading on the MACD bubble chart, this chart tells us historically we have had a little more of a bullish action. We get a pullback, followed by a bullish action, followed by a larger pullback. So that's exactly what this says and is told us multiple times. I'm going to put that up here. So I'm going to put this up here. So this says break, then green push, right? Then retrace, right? Then pump again, then dump, right? So historically, this has been the pattern that is played out with this MACD right here. Break, get the green diller, right? Retrace, pump again, and then dump it out. And we just showed you that earlier in the video. This is exactly what happens over here. All right, so this is no different than that scenario. Listen, I'm still we get up here, we touch this 200 MA, 67.75. This would be I would like to get up here, load some shorts. That's what this chart says right here. So if you come over at the reason why, besides the fact that I called this area with the shorts, retrace, with the fibs, with everything else, your 200 MA strikes right across here, and the 200 MA has got a lot of power. As you see, it's held up really nicely in the past, and there it is, boom, boom, wicked through. Both those tried to break through it, couldn't break through it. This one couldn't even make it to it. So let's see how that'll play out. Now, I do have my 128 on this chart. I do have it on the 12-hour. Right, there's my 128 on the 12-hour. It did break that 128. So we are above the 128, below the 200, and the money area we're in, look, we came right back into this heavy zone right here, right? This heavy zone. Now let's see what happens. I think maybe a little, it's really suspect right here. I'm very suspect. I would like to see one more little push back up, but, I think we have limited direction in the bullish range. When I say limited, it's hard to look at this and say how high or how low we could go, because I keep going back to very restricted on the height we could possibly get here, simply based on the previous pushes up, and there's just no freaking volume, right? And that's it. That's all I got. Yeah, no, Express.
Yeah,
I agree. So Express is saying, yeah, drifting lower, and I agree. So the MACD chart specifically says pump, dump, pump again, and then dump. Got that?
Pump, dump, pump again, then dump.
Yeah, it's like that's what happens after you get married. After you get married, pre-marriage.
I wouldn't know.
Pre-marriage, there's a whole lot of pumping going on. Post-marriage, yeah, it's a little, I got things to do, people to see, places to go. Yeah, in fact, I was going to take up basket weaving next week because I've got nothing else better to do, So, all right, anybody, any questions? Anything else, Chon? You done?
Yeah, I mean, again, all I can really just stress is keep sideways. Or, we could keep sideways for at least another week or two. Really could. Keep putting in a higher low, lower high. But even with our price action now, there's no reason why this can't take us into mid-October before a more definitive action and price moves can happen. I think the lack of volume I mean, you have to ask yourself, like, is this chart, is this price action bringing new money into crypto? I think big money definitely wants to get into crypto, but they know that the current environment and just kind of where we are on this continued parabolic unwind of our 20K Bitcoin is still in play. And until we have a more definitive correction, retesting at least the 786 fib, which would put us a little bit sub 5K, then I think you're not going to see that big money flow in. And then and only then can you have more of a legitimate chance of a trend change. Until then, until that's proven otherwise, I'm going to have my bearish leanings and keep watch of a major break of this extremely tightening equilibrium that can still get a little bit tighter over the next week or so. That's
Okay.
all I got.
All right, perfect. I'm just going to stop the recording right here, but we have a question. So